Hey guys, it's Melissa here from Reiki with Melissa. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about getting messages from departed loved ones. As I was doing my Facebook Live last night, I had a really good question from one of the people who was watching. The person asked, they said, I saw my dad right after he passed away, and I haven't seen him since, and that was a long time ago. Why haven't I been seeing my dad? And it was a really good question. And it was a question that, honestly, I didn't have an exact answer for, but I gave my best version of an answer that I could. I feel like it definitely warranted a lot more research. And so I promised that in the future, I would do more research and get back to this person about it. But I thought I would just talk a little bit today because what I believe, honestly, happens sometimes is that our departed loved ones are trying to talk to us and we just don't realize it. We may not actually be seeing the person, but they may still be trying to get a hold of us and trying just to let us know that they're there and they're okay and that they love us. And we're just really not seeing it because we're so consumed with grief sometimes and so consumed with our everyday lives that we just don't really see the signs. So another reason I told her that I thought maybe she wasn't seeing him is because we're all just energy. And just based on the research I've already done and what I already know, when you cross over to the other side, your energy is vibrating at a much, much higher frequency. It's not like heaven is just this other place. It's just in another dimension because it's at a different frequency. So it's at a different energy level. And we're vibrating here on Earth at a lot lower level. It kind of reminds me of whenever, when my children, when I was pregnant with them, they would always measure the heartbeats. And my heartbeat was always much slower than the baby's, right? The baby's heart rates were almost like double or something. So anytime they got a heart rate and it was very low, they would panic. And then it would take them a while that they'd realize, oh yeah, that's not the baby's heart rate, that's your heart rate. It's a lot slower than theirs. Theirs should be this rate, which is a lot faster than yours. And I feel like that's the same thing that happens with energy. I feel like that level is a lot higher. And what we're vibrating at here on Earth is a lot lower. It's slower. So in order for us to be able to see a departed loved one and communicate with them, we would have to raise our vibration and they would have to lower theirs to kind of meet in the middle, if that makes any sense. So if you're not vibrating at a really high frequency, you might have trouble, communicating or seeing. But I still think that there are other ways that they can communicate with us without us necessarily seeing them. And part of me, and I don't know this for certain, but I think that a lot of times the reason that we might see a loved one right after they pass over and then we don't see them again, because I've had many people tell me, oh, I saw this person right after they passed away. And I've had that experience too. I've had that happen to me too. That a person's you just look up, to me, it was at night and I looked up from my bed and saw the person. And then a lot of people will say that it's at night when they're in their bed. So I think you have a couple of things going on here too. Number one, when we are going to bed, we're very relaxed. And I think that it's at that time that it's easier for spirit to get a message to us because we're more relaxed and we're more open to it. Just remember, I've told you before, if you have a problem and you want to ask for guidance, that you could ask to be given that guidance in your dreams. Because when you're dreaming, when you're asleep, it's easier to receive guidance. So to me, I think that, you might see people at night because, well, number one, you're more relaxed and it's easier to see them. And I think that you might see somebody when they first cross over, because I think that at that point, their energy is not like as high as it's going to get. To me, I'm not an expert, and if you know something different, that's great. And if you want to share with me, that's great. Like I said, this is just from research that I have done and from what I personally know to be true. So it's not backed by total expert opinion. It's just my belief. And it can be, you can think, well, you're totally full of crap. That's fine if you want to think that. I totally plan on trying to do a little more research about this topic, because I think it's a very interesting topic and one that a lot of people want to know about, because we just really want the reassurance that our loved ones are safe and happy and still with us when they pass on. It's hard to let go of people and memories that you have associated and attached to those people. And the grieving process can be very difficult. So I understand saying, I want to be around, that person, and I want to see that person, and I want to make sure that person's okay. I totally get that. And I feel like those people do come around us, and they are trying to help us see that they're okay. So what I did was I kind of put together a list of ways that people might be trying to get a hold of you and might be trying to communicate with you, that maybe you're just not realizing it and maybe you're not seeing it. So the first thing is in your dreams. And I said this last night. You'll have to excuse me. I'm doing this podcast today while I'm getting ready for work because I have a very long day. I have to do a full day of teaching, and then I also have a curriculum night tonight, so my day will be quite long, and it will be from, I'm talking to you now at like 5 o'clock in the morning until, I'll be there until 8 o'clock tonight. So if you hear background noise, that's why. I just want to clear that up. But I think that in your dream state, and I told this, I told Asia, I'll go ahead and say, I know she won't mind. So I told Asia last night, I said, if you ask him to come to you in your dreams, they will come to you and visit us while you're dreaming, because in our dream state, just as I said, as you go lay down and go to bed, we are easier to contact and to get a hold of when we're dreaming. So if you ask your departed loved one to talk to you while you're dreaming, they can do that. And so I want to talk to you about some of the signs that you might already be seeing that you're just not realizing are signs from your departed loved one that they are with you. So one of the signs is, and I'm sorry, this cut off, so I might be repeating what I said. So let me go to the second sign, feathers. You might be seeing feathers everywhere from your departed loved one. And that would be them, leaving feathers in your path, letting you know that they've crossed over successfully. There's no need to worry. Another thing is music. You may have a song come on that was their favorite song, or you may see the lyrics or hear the lyrics to a song that reminds you of them. That's another way that they can get a hold of you and let you know, hey, I'm here and I'm okay. Another thing that they can do is if you have a scent that you smell. I know that my grandpa, my mom's dad, who passed away, I didn't even meet him in this lifetime, but I know that he's around. I will smell cigarette smoke. He was a heavy smoker. For no reason, I will be the only person in my house, and I will smell this scent so strongly, or even in my car on the way to work. And obviously there's no one else with me in the car who's smoking. So I know that that's him, and I've also had confirmation before that, hey, your grandpa's is around you all the time. It's like, okay, yeah, I know that. Sometimes I will smell flowers, and whenever I smell flowers, I feel like that's my grandma coming through. So you may smell a favorite scent, like if your grandpa was a cigar smoker and you just smell cigars, you know he's with you. Another thing are stopped clocks. If a clock just stops at the time that the person died, you know, on that same time, that could be a message from them. You might see that you had a clock that worked really well and then all of a sudden it just totally stopped working. That's another sign. Numbers, you might see like wedding anniversary dates or birth dates all around. That's another sign. You might see it on a license plate, or you just might see it pop up all the time. They can make phones ring. I don't know about cell phones, but like landline phones, if it rang once and then they hang up, you know, it's only one ring, that can be a message. If you're seeing orbs in your photos, and pennies, you know, you hear the song Pennies from Heaven. If you see that and you pick up the penny, the date might be significant, then you know. Another thing is they can manipulate animals sometimes. So if you see like animals, I think last night, I believe, Asia, you and your sister Michelle were talking about hawks, that you see hawks all the time and that reminds you of your dad. And other people say other things. A lot of people think cardinals, red cardinals, are messages that their departed loved ones are around. So I really think that you just have to look for the signs. And another thing that you can do is to ask your departed loved one, show me that you're here by giving me this sign, and then pay attention for it. So you can totally do that. Ask them to manipulate things or to show you a sign. I would totally ask them to give you a sign and, you know, let them know what you'll be looking for. And just be open too, okay? You honestly, most of the time, you'll know when it is a sign. Like when my family and I were together one time sitting on the deck, a hummingbird came and just hovered right in front of us. And I've never seen a hummingbird like stop moving fast enough for me to be able to see the hummingbird. And it really felt like it was a sign, because we had just been talking about some departed loved ones. So I felt like that was totally a sign. So just know that your loved ones are safe, they're okay, and they are with you, and they're probably trying to get a hold of you. And you may not be paying attention, and that's not through any fault of your own. Like we said, go through life, it's so busy, we have our blinders on, we're on autopilot, we just don't always see it. So slow down and ask them to visit you in your dreams, keep a dream journal. Ask them for specific signs and keep your eyes open for what signs you do see. And I told the people on my Facebook Live yesterday that I am going to, on my next couple of Facebook Lives, I'll include a couple of exercises for you to help you try to open your intuition a little more and talk about how you can raise your vibration. And those ways are also ways that would help you in trying to be able to communicate with any departed loved ones. So I hope you guys have a great day, and also check out my Facebook page. One of my viewers on my Facebook Live, Ginger, last night shared with me a beautiful song, speaking of departed loved ones, about her beautiful sister who passed away from cancer. And it's a really, really pretty song, and I urge you to go and listen to it, because it made me cry like buckets of tears, but in a good way. It was so touching and moving and really pretty. So please go check that out. If you are interested in Reiki or a reading or one-on-one coaching, go to my website. You can find all of the information there. If you have not yet, please like my Reiki with Melissa Facebook page. You will get notified every time I go live if you do. And I am going live now. I had to change the dates because I'm taking a class to improve myself. But I changed the dates. Instead of Mondays now, it will be on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So check that out. I hope you have a beautiful day. I love you all. Thank you so much for listening. Take care.